ring. Dick Murdoch is here today, and we'll be back with the opener right after this.
Welcome to wrestling at the Chase, the opening bout, a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Houston, Texas, weighing 227 pounds, Gene Stevens. From Denver, Texas, weighing 236 pounds, David Von Erich.
David Von Erich tangles with Gene Stevens, the opener today on Wrestling at the Chase. Stevens started out with a bit of a rush. Von Erich backed him off. They square off in the center of the ring. David clenched a fist, and Stevens is already complaining. Referee Charles Venator cautions both men. It's a wrestling match. Let's try to keep it that way. David Von Erich with a wrist lock on Gene Stevens, and Von Erich, who stands 6'6", can certainly take advantage of his height right here. He towers over Stevens and really leans into the hold. David Von Erich, a terrific young prospect, along, of course, with his brother Kevin. Stevens tries to lean into David Von Erich. David, though, has good balance and really pours on the pressure to Gene Stevens. You can see how perfectly Von Erich is applying that hold. His arms intertwined with the left arm of Gene Stevens. A lot of pressure in the wrist. Stevens counters very nicely, and Stevens with the wrist lock on David Von Erich. David tries to roll his way up. Has to struggle to do it, but gets there. Counters beautifully into a hammerlock. Good move by David Von Erich, who then yanks on the chin of Gene Stevens and drops a knee into Stevens' elbow. Well done by David Von Erich. Stevens had countered David's wrist lock, but then David got to his feet, moved behind Stevens with the hammerlock, and put Stevens on the mat. And now, once again, the leverage, the balance, all belong to David Von Erich as he twists the hammerlock onto the arm of Gene Stevens. Stevens tries to come to his feet. He almost has to be standing really to counter the hold unless he can get to one of David's legs. David really has that hand well up behind the back of Stevens. The whole arm bent. Really the forearm not too far away from the bicep as tightly as Von Erich is applying the hold. But now Stevens puts Von Erich on the ropes. Charles Venator wants a clean break. Doesn't get one from Stevens, though. Begins pounding on the midsection of David Von Erich. And Von Erich pops Stevens. Stevens stays in the corner. But you don't see any wild rushes from David Von Erich. A lot of poise for the young man. Experience beyond his years, really. And, of course, a lot of that comes from his father, Fritz Von Erich. Von Erich. David behind Stevens comes up with an arm twist armbar combination, and then a knee drop to the elbow, and then into an armbar by David Von Erich. Of course, we mentioned David's father, Fritz, along with many in the line of contention for a crack at the World Heavyweight Championship. Certainly, Fritz ranks with anyone. One of the all-time greats, the inventor of the Iron Claw. And while we haven't seen David or Kevin use that claw hold yet, you can bet it's something they have in their bag of tricks, something that once they have it perfected, someday, somewhere, we're very likely to see a claw hold applied by one of the Von Erich boys. Because Fritz is the best with the claw. There's no question about it. And the Von Erich brothers have inherited so many other good qualities from Fritz, you can bet they're going to inherit the claw also. Stevens drives his shoulder into the stomach of Von Erich. Hard clout to the ribs and then to the neck by Gene Stevens. Stevens pounding on David Von Erich. That one hurt Stevens' hand as he caught Von Erich on the jawbone. Von Erich battles back. David drives a knee into the stomach of Gene Stevens and then whips Stevens to the ropes. Drop kick by David Von Erich. Von Erich covers Stevens. Stevens drapes his leg onto the bottom rope. Stevens goes for Von Erich's leg, trying to throw David off balance. Those long legs make an inviting target for any opponent of David's. And now Stevens ties up the leg of David Von Erich. As though he needed any reminder, that drop kick of David told Stevens just how agile and how quickly David Von Erich can take to the air. It also reminded him exactly how effective that drop kick can be. So Stevens quickly shifted his attack to the legs of David Von Erich, hoping to take some of the spring out of those legs. The crowd chants and yells, encouraging David Von Erich. But Stevens in command, or is he? Von Erich hooks the head, flips Stevens over. A lot of strength in those legs, too. Stevens looked as though he was going to try to kick David Von Erich, but David blocked it. Body drop into the thigh by David Von Erich. David still favoring that leg a little bit, though. Leg snap by David Von Erich.
5 minutes have elapsed, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes remain in the opener between Gene Stevens and David Von Erich. Stevens outmaneuvered Von Erich there, catching David with a kick to the stomach. Stevens hurls Von Erich to the ropes, and then a kick to David's chest as Von Erich comes off those ropes. Hard punch to the head by Gene Stevens. Once more, Stevens bangs home that fist to the head of David Von Erich. Stevens really opening up with the rough stuff now, trying to polish off David Von Erich. But David refuses to quit. Takes a couple more punches, a kick. Von Erich fighting back yet. Von Erich forcing Stevens to the ropes. Up and over goes Gene Stevens. Compliments of David Von Erich. Knee drop to the chest by Von Erich. Try for a pin, but at the count of 2, Stevens shoves off David Von Erich. Elbow smash to the head by David. Stevens refusing to quit himself as he lashed out with a boot to the stomach. Stevens, reverse neck breaker. Reverse neck breaker by Stevens. Von Erich almost escaped it in midair, but he still took a pretty good shot to the neck. Von Erich off the ropes with a forearm smash. That one seemed to daze Stevens a bit, but he comes flailing away. Hard punch to the midsection by Von Erich. He forces Stevens to the corner. There goes Stevens on a trip across the ring into the buckles. Drop kick by David Von Erich. Caught Stevens in the face. Von Erich mounts the ropes. Knee drop to the stomach. Von Erich with a semi-atomic drop off those ropes. A giant splash. 2 knee drops to the stomach, followed by the giant splash. And David Von Erich with a giant splash is the winner over Gene Stevens. Von Erich using those ropes.